Are you ready for round 24 of the NRL? We are so close to the end now, so close to the finals. So let's get picking who we think are going to win this week. First of all, let's see how we did last week. And I can tell you right off the bat, it started well, ended well. Everything in between was an absolute cock-up. On Thursday, it was Rabbitohs versus Storm. And I did Storm by 16. They won by 12. So I get the win, the 1 point for the win, plus a close score. Another fairly confident win by Storm. Thought it'd be slightly more, but it is just cementing their place at the top of the table at the moment. So fair play to them there. Then I thought, the giant killers of the season may get a result, but Sharks meant business. They meant business. They won by 44 points to 0. Which means I get absolutely nothing because I did Titans by 4. So I did have a 4 in it, I suppose. It's incredible to think Sharks, who are in 4th place, only 31% of you guys went for them. That is crazy. And Sharks now, they are just pushing to get into the playoff finals, trying to now get momentum. So fair play to them. I get absolutely nothing. Then it was Eels versus my Panthers. Panthers, I thought they would win this comfortably. A very high-scoring game, 34-36 to the Panthers. I did 22 points to Panthers, and they won by 2. So once again, I do have a 2 in it, but at least I get the correct result. Just surprising scoreline from the Eels, and actually Eels did all right last week. They scored plenty last week. I thought Panthers would have enough defensively to resist the tries. But they didn't. Hey-ho, we still got the win. Still second in the table. And 1 point for me. Then it was Raiders versus Sea Eagles. And I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. What was I thinking? Why did I pick Raiders? I don't know. I get absolutely nothing. I did Raiders by 6. Eagles won by 22. I've got nothing else to say. Sea Eagles fighting for the playoffs. That's fair play to them there. I just don't know why I picked Raiders. Not sure. Anyway, next up. Bloody Broncos turn up when you don't want them to, don't they? Bloody nuisance and useless all season. I did Cowboys to win by 12. However, Broncos pretty much demolished Cowboys and they won by 24. Where has that been for most of the season? When I've been tipping them, where has it been? Frustrating, that's what it is. I get absolutely nothing. Only 11% of people get it. No one gets a close score. So well done if you at least picked Broncos. And they've screwed us, the rest of us. Next up, Dragons versus Bulldogs. I did Dragons to win by 4. I thought it would be a close one. I did think it would be a close one. But Bulldogs actually run out winners by 18 points. And that puts them, is that in 5th? For some reason, the Super Brew League table standings is a little bit off sometimes. So if you hear me say it wrong, just ignore me. But that should now put the Dogs in 5th. And Dragons now in 9th. Dragons needed that, really. Next up, I get nothing, by the way. Next up is Dolphins versus Warriors. A very, very tight game. High scoring. And I did just about get it correct. Not a close score, though. I did Dolphins to win by 10. Dolphins won by 2. Very, very tight finish to this one. Warriors, I could say they needed the win. But even if they did get it, it probably wasn't going to be enough to push for the finals, just with consistency-wise. But for Dolphins, they're now in 8th. They have a chance for playoff finals. So that was a fantastic win, even if it was a little bit close for comfort for them. So I get 1 point. And then the final game of the week was Knights versus West Tigers. And as I said, it started well, finished well. I did Knights by 12, but they won by 16. Where does that put them? Knights now in about 11th. They've got a little bit of a chance. Yeah, they've still got a little bit of a chance. Them, Broncos, Raiders, and sort of Warriors have a chance for the playoff finals. So we'll see how that goes. That's 1.5 points for me in that last game. Looking at the league table now, there is not a lot of movement. People have got those gaps and it is hard to catch up. Corbajal still top, Hacksaw still second, but Brupel has overtaken Adelaide Bulldog into third. Looking a little bit further down, a little bit of movement. Kazaraza up to 7th, while St. Jai and Aussie Tash go down 1 respectively. WM Footy NRL up 1. WAMH is up 2, trying to get into that top 10. It's doable. They're about 3 points off at the moment. Johan Mustang is down 3. I'm down 1. Still in the top 20. That's what I want. I want to be in the top 20. Let's look up for some bigger movers. Stephen J. Will is up 4 to 21st. Down 5 is New Elijah to 24th. Stormy May down 3 to 26th. Up the Pars and Brother Man up 3. Pie Boy down 3 to 30th. We got the Golden Hat and the Wooden Spoon pretty much next to each other. Up 2 is Brayley with the Golden Hat, and Dave Hill is got the Wooden Spoon. And to show everyone where else everyone else has finished, there we go. There is the final league table for this week. On to picking round 24, and it is still very, very close. I would say from 13th place up can still make the top 8. So it is still all to play for with 4 rounds to go and points to pick up. But we start on Thursday the 15th with an absolute corker. This could be the final. Penrith Panthers going for their 4th win in a row, and Melbourne Storm, who are absolutely flying top of the table. Who is going to win this? It's at Bluebet Stadium. Panthers, they looked done because, Panthers got 3 tries very, very late in the game. Very much similar to last year's grand final, to be fair, where they had to get 3 tries to win the game. But Panthers were able to do it. That is the special thing about Panthers. They are able to turn games on a sixpence, as they say. I don't even know what a sixpence is. Is it 5p? 6p? I don't know, whatever. But they obviously face Storm, who on paper are probably the second best team, although technically they are the first best team because they're top of the table. But I still expect a Panthers win. You've got Nathan Cleary back as well. And so does that put them back in their winning ways? We all know how good Nathan Cleary is, good man down there. And so, yes, they may not win, but I thoroughly expect, playing at home as well, I expect Panthers to win and go back top of the table. I say back, I don't even think they've been top of the table this year. That was Sharks and then Storm. So I am going to do a Panthers win here by 8. Fascinating game, and as I said, this could well and truly be a warm-up for the final later on down the line. So we will see there, but that should be an amazing, amazing game on Thursday. Exciting. Next up, Friday the 16th at 4 Pines Park in Manly is Sea Eagles versus the Warriors. Now, obviously, Sea Eagles got that win last week. That puts them in a fantastic place to try and make top 8. They are currently in 7th, 3 points ahead of Dolphins. As I said, just bearing in mind that for some reason Super Bruce sometimes gives the wrong league table positions. I don't know why. So if I'm slightly off, just ignore me. Warriors, they've obviously lost last week and the week before. Their form is shot. They could still make the top 8, but I think it's probably too much for them now. I just think it went from bad to worse, really, didn't it? After losing golden points. A golden point to the Dolphins on Sunday as well. It's not a good sign, is it? It is not a good sign. So, Eagles, that is a really, really good form as well for a team that's in 7th. Only 2 losses in the last 7. We've got to go with an Eagles win. I'm going to go with an Eagles win by a confident win. A confident win. Let's go 20. Yeah, it should be a fairly confident win by a team who is on good form. Next up, Allianz Stadium in Sydney, Roosters versus Eels. Now, obviously, Eels picked up a win 2 weeks ago. And they've been Last week, for example, they only lost by 2, and they were in the lead, as I said already, about Panthers getting those tries at the end of the game. They're a tough team. They're in 16th, but they're showing they're a tough team to beat. They just don't get the results, and that's a real problem for them, isn't it, going forward? It's difficult. It's difficult. It should be a similar situation that Roosters are strong enough to beat the Eels, so I will be going that way. It's at the Allianz Stadium as well. Let's go Roosters. Let's go 18. 3 conversions and tries. Next up, Bulldogs versus Dolphins. Difficult one. Bulldogs, they are currently in 5th, 24. Dolphins are in 8th with 20 points. I think the Bulldogs are they do look like playoff contenders, don't they? And their form is certainly better than Dolphins, who are sort of holding on in there. They got that win last week, but they are hanging on in there at the moment. It's not easy. I can't see the Dogs losing here, but you never know when Dolphins are going to spring a victory. The problem is Dolphins only scraped past Warriors last week, and they sort of don't play the full 80 minutes almost, and so that's where their downfall is. So I think Bulldogs should win this because Bulldogs are certainly a better team than Warriors. So let's go Bulldogs by 8. Not ridiculously convincing, but enough. Okay, then we go Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Cowboys versus Raiders. I don't know why I picked Raiders to win last week. What was I thinking? Can anyone remind me? What was I thinking? This should be a Cowboys win here all day long. Cowboys currently now in 6th. Raiders with that outside chance of making top 8. It is an outside chance, but they can do it. Both teams come off a disappointing loss, to be fair. But Cowboys, they lost at home against Broncos. The only thing with that is Broncos did what they should be doing, that they haven't been doing. That's the thing. So, yes, it was an upset for them, but I have expected that performance from Broncos all season. They were in the grand final last year, for Christ's sake, with a big lead. I just think Raiders should be an easier team to face than the Broncos were. So I'm going to go with a Cowboys win. They are now trying to, once again, they're also trying to cement their place in the playoffs. And that's what it is now. It's just trying to get over the finish line. And Cowboys will probably do that. So I'm going to go with Cowboys win let's go by 10 today. Then Campbelltown Sports Stadium in Campbelltown. West Tigers versus Rabbitohs. Obviously, Rabbitohs now haven't won in the last 3 games. Tigers, they are in bottom. They're in the bottom spot. It's basically a battle of bad teams, right? Rabbitohs had a little spell where they were fantastic. They were beating teams, but that has well and truly gone. Whereas West Tigers, well, they're just awful. I don't think it's easy to back either team here. Maybe we can go on the fact that West Tigers are playing as the home team here. Let's do that. Let's go with this could be completely wrong. Let's go with a Tigers win by 2. That is all I'm going to go for. It's a little bit of a gamble here because technically Rabbitohs have shown more this season, just about. But let's see if Tigers can sneak a 2-point win, shall we? Next up is Sunday 18th, Wynn Stadium in Wollongong. Dragons versus Titans. Titans actually have been on good form. They surprisingly do have an outside chance as well to make the top 8. They probably won't, but you never know until the fat lady sings and all that. Dragons in 9th. They haven't been convincing. Their form has been inconsistent. And Yeah, they were playing. Titans were playing well until they came up against a Sharks side who had a point to prove. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Titans. They have been giant killers. I'm gonna go with Titans by 4. Titans by 4, just because it would be funny if they managed to squeeze up into the top 8. It would be just funny because they've been near the bottom the whole season. Yeah, let's do that. Point Bet Stadium on the next game and final game of the week, Sharks versus Knights. Sharks, like I said, with the form they've had, how they're still in the top 4 is beyond me. But they had a point to prove last week and they demolished Titans. That should put them in really, really good stead against a Knights team who do come off a win, but outside chance that Knights need to win here. I just think with that win, that's going to really, really get Sharks going now. They're really, really going to try and push ahead, you would assume. So I'm going to go with a Sharks win for the final game of the week. I'm going to go with a Sharks win by 10. And so my picks for the week are Panthers by 8, Sea Eagles by 20, Roosters by 18, Bulldogs by 8, Cowboys by 10, Tigers by 2, Titans by 4, and Sharks by 10. Some interesting matches, still all to play for. It is going down to the wire. It really, really is. It's going to be an exciting week, and I am fascinated to see who gets the results and who fails. Thank you so much once again for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and as always, I will catch you guys next week.